Hello everyone, it's Janine here at my studio space with my canine partner Pugsley. So today I thought we'd have a go at decorating some postcards with watercolour and then some doodling Zentangle inspired art over the top. But as usual, feel free to use whatever you have. You know, if you just use normal paper, then you know that's fine. And I have these watercolour postcards that came in a tin. I think they're by Hemule or some, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but something like that. And the address thing on it looks slightly weird, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's for another country and they write their addresses differently. I'm not sure, but the main reason why I like using these is just because they're nice small sizes of watercolour paper. And so I'm using my Cotman watercolour set, but you know, use whatever you have. And I'm just painting a nice colourful background with different bright colours. I tend to gravitate towards like greens, blues and purples. I think we all kind of have colours that we tend to gravitate towards. And most of the time I'm using them straight out of the pans, but I have done a little bit of mixing with this as well. And I'm kind of just letting it blend across into the different colours, and you'll see later where some of them have spread into each other, but I quite like that effect. If you don't have watercolour, you could always use pencils or felt tips to create your background instead. I hope you're staying safe and well at home. The lockdown is starting to loosen here a bit, but some people are still quite cautious, but if you're getting out and about a bit more, I hope you're staying safe and enjoying it. If you are using something other than watercolour, you're obviously going to get different effects, but don't worry about that. It's all about just being able to be creative and do something. So yeah, you can see where the blue has kind of gone into the green a bit, and then I think you'll see here, yeah, the yellow goes into the blue, but I wanted to do that on purpose. I like the effects. And then this is another one that I started. I'll keep watching and you'll see the doodling on each one further into the video. And so this one I went with circles, or like I didn't want perfect circles, I just want, you know, they're not supposed to be perfect circles, and I was going to fill them all in with like solid colour, but then I quite liked that how the brush was leaving some gaps, and so I decided to go with that, and yeah, see where that takes me. I think sometimes within art you can have an idea in your head, but then when you start doing it, something will happen, and sometimes it's nice to embrace those different things that happen, and it creates new ideas. So I'm like purposely leaving little gaps in the colour here, because that's the effect that I decided I wanted to go for, but I hadn't thought about that when I first started doing this piece. And the idea of this piece is that I will doodle on top of the circles, but you'll see how that develops later on when we go into the doodling part. So yeah, this is just very loose, like, you know, as I said earlier, you know, these are not perfect circles by any means. I, you know, don't want it to be perfect circles, so, you know, don't let that kind of thing hold you back. And so then this is back with the first one, and I've started doing like doodling, sort of like Zentangle inspired art. I'll link the video that I've done about Zentangle, but Zentangle has certain rules which I'm not following. I'm making up my own patterns here. That's how I prefer to do it, just make up patterns out of my head. There's all sorts of different kind of things that you can do. And then you can see in this section I'm actually being inspired by the colour as to what pattern to create. So I did like a sea sort of inspired pattern there, and then this one's a leaf pattern on the green. So yeah, the colours were kind of helping me generate some of my ideas. But yeah, they're just very doodly and, you know, not exact, and yeah, I've just made them off out of my head. But if you're not so sure, you know, if you type in like Zentangle patterns Google, you'll come up with all sorts of different ideas. Another thing you could think about is varying the thickness of your lines. You can see with the pattern at the bottom, when the camera views, you'll see some of the lines are slightly thicker. And then this is the finished postcard here. And now on to doing the doodling onto the other one. So I decided in the end that I wanted to do some pen details onto the circles and like kind of draw a little bit around the gaps that have been left in the circles, but I'm not literally drawing around them. I'm doing like sort of like some I'm drawing around, but some I'm just doing like a little lines just to like, you know, sort of highlight the gaps, and then I'm just drawing some lines around the outside, but not a solid line. But you know, again, there's lots of, you know, different variables in these, and you could do it how you wanted. You know, you could do a solid outline around your circle, or you know, all sorts of different things. I mean, you could have done solid circles and not left the little gaps if you wanted to. It was just what I decided to do. Please leave any comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my video and your take on it, and what kind of creative things you end up doing. Look forward to hearing from you. So yeah, I'm keeping my lines quite sketchy and free. I was just wondering if Zentangle and Zentangle inspired art doodling is something that you normally do, or if this is something completely new to you. Please do let me know in the comments below. It would be interesting to hear. And even if, you know, this is something you've done loads of times before, I feel like, you know, you can still get something out of watching other people do it and seeing different approaches. So I hope you find this video useful. So I've gone slightly off camera here, but you'll see in a minute what I was doing, and it's just a continuation of what I've been doing on the other circles. So you can probably see a little bit better here what I'm doing with the shapes. So some of them I'm just, rather than going right around the shapes, I'm just adding like one line or like a couple of lines. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, some of them I've gone right round, like I said, but yeah, some of them it's just like one or two lines just to kind of show the shapes there. So as I said earlier, my plan was to doodle onto the circles, but I was drawn to the little gaps in the circles, so I decided to outline them instead, as you've just seen. And then I thought, well, why not work in the negative space instead? So the negative space is like the white space between the circles where there's no paint. So yeah, I'm just doodling on into those areas with different patterns again, like you know, this is Zentangle inspired, but patterns made up from my head. So these bits on top are a bit like the dangles that we did the other week. I'll try and remember to link that video. And so yeah, when I'm doing these dangly bits, I'm just trying to remember to sort of vary the heights of them. I think that works quite well and it's quite effective, and then I'm just building in around the circle. And then here I'm just doing kind of like a sort of like a natural like leafy sort of design, and I'm using the line that I'm putting the leaves off as to create a section between the circles, so I can then doodle within my section. So yeah, if you are doing this on a postcard, then it's a nice idea to send it to a friend and yeah, spread a bit of joy and some creativity to someone else. But if you don't have postcards, you could always do it on some paper and maybe create it into a card, or you don't have to send it at all. You can just enjoy the process and have a nice relaxing process. So yeah, often when I do like Zentangle inspired art, I will create sections, and as you can see what I was talking about a minute ago, I did create a section over there, and I